Welcome to I Don't Get It. This is the Pop Culture Get Off My Lawn cast. This show features the open-minded musings of two early 50s curmudgeons staring down the prospect of entertainment relevance. I'm your co-host, Bill Scurry of American Caesar Enterprises, which was the real-life inspiration for Garfield. A lot of people don't know that.
Really?
Jim Davis never gave me a dime in residuals. I went up to him one day and I said, you know what? Boy, it's Monday. I really hate getting up and I kind of want some lasagna now. And he just fucking rode that shit through the 70s and 80s. That was it.
To make Garfield. Okay.
Yeah.
Garfield. Have you seen the for a while online, someone was taking old Garfield strips and editing Garfield out of them?
Oh, yeah, Garfield without Garfield? Is that what it was called?
And it was just John talking to himself. It was so depressing. John's a real pathetic character.
Yeah, he's a beta cuck, you might say.
But he gets cucked by his cat, and then he's got a dog who doesn't really seem like a good pet.
Yeah. Do you remember John's girlfriend?
Yeah, John had a girlfriend.
Liz.
Was she like a good girlfriend, or was she a harridan?
She really, you know what? I think that they really kept their distance because she wasn't a regular feature. I think they kind of featured her when they wanted to, but she wasn't like there wasn't like a narrative with her. She popped in and out.
And did John have a job?
Yeah, I forget what it was, but John was mostly just like a fool. He was pathetic on his own. Not like Garfield might have like made sport of John, but he also was sort of, like you said, pathetic in that. I remember John didn't realize that he tucked his shirt into his underwear. And so Garfield was looking at John and his underwear was creeping out of the top of his pants because his shirt was tucked into the underwear. And like Garfield was like looking at the camera saying, can you believe this fucking guy? You know, that
is high comedy. That's
big time.
Noel Coward level. You know, that's some Jonathan Swift stuff there.
Yeah.
I barely remember Garfield. So remind me. So Garfield didn't talk. We saw his thought balloons, basically, right?
Yes, exactly.
So what was the dynamic? Was it clear that Garfield was John's pet? Or were they more like roommates? Was it like Family Guy where like has like human level, he's treated like a human by the humans?
Yeah, let's put it this way. Brian from Family Guy was definitely inspired by, it was a rejoinder to Garfield. Right. It too was wondering, what is the nature of Garfield? Is it because he acts like a cat? He doesn't do anything that's not cat-like. I mean, other than the fact that cats don't get lasagna necessarily, nor do they know to ask for it.
I have a memory of Garfield in the morning, like having a cup of coffee. Am I wrong?
Yeah. I remember he would actually get this thing that there was a spider would come across the table and it was a running thing where Garfield would whack the spider with a rolled up newspaper. Really? Like he had some hard on for the fucking spider. Yeah. So
did John know that Garfield had human level intelligence?
I don't think so.
Was he oblivious to this?
I think he was completely oblivious.
He just thought my cat's an asshole, which a lot of real life human beings.
And that was Jim Davis cut to the quick of it all and insisted that, you know what, we're all living with Garfield if you have a cat. Like you will understand this as a universality.
I'm not living with Garfield. My cat's not an asshole. Come on.
No, but your cat has jerky tendencies. They're being a cat. That's the way he was.
Yeah, but they're lovable. Come on.
How about this? Here's a trivia question. So Garfield always threatened to send Nermal, who was the cute neighborhood kitten, to another country. Do you remember which
Abu Dhabi?
Abu Dhabi in the United Arab Emirates.
That's how I learned. That's how I first heard of Abu Dhabi.
When that was reintroduced,
the Garfield cartoon
in like history class, when it's like, oh, there's actually a country called Abu Dhabi. I can't believe it.
No, there isn't. Abu Dhabi's a city.
It's an emirate. It's an emirate in the Emirates, but yeah,
right. It's an emirate in the UAE.
Sharjah,
neighbor to
Abu Dhabi, Dubai. Yeah, I think there's a third.
Oh wow, you've memorized them. Do they have their own chocolate like Dubai?
No, I don't think so. I've been to Dubai. I've not been to Sharjah or Abu Dhabi, but yeah.
We must have talked about when you went to Dubai. Oh my God, that sounds like torture to go to Dubai.
You know what though? I was only there for, I want to say a night or two. I just looked on it. It's just a fucked up place. It's a lot of fun. It's essentially Vegas with
slaves.
Cafes and slaves. Yeah, that's pretty much what it is.
Vegas with more heats and worse labor laws.
It is on the ocean. It is on the Persian Gulf, though, so at least you have access to water if you're looking for it.
I know. Okay. Yeah. Anyway, hello. My name is Noah Tarnow. I'm the founder and the senior quiz master of the Big Quiz Thing, the Trivia Game Show Spectacular. Welcome back, friends. We are a little peek behind the curtain. We're recording early this week, Friday instead of Saturday, because I'm headed back to New York City, our home, both of our homes. Neither of us live there anymore. Tomorrow. But as usual on the show, we talk about things that are happening, things that are hot. I hadn't heard of this, Bill. The Today Show tells me I'm a fool because this is everywhere right now.
Yeah.
This is the biggest story. Yet somehow I was oblivious to the current internet-wide phenomenon that is Punch, the sad Japanese macaque monkey.
It's a topic as well as a command if you read it correctly.
Punch the monkey?
Yes, exactly.
Punch the monkey. Hey, hey. What's crueler, punching a monkey or shocking a monkey?
Shocking for sure, I think.
Probably crueler.
Yeah.
Anyway, Bill, tell us about Punch the macaque. Punch the and monkeys. People often call things that aren't monkeys monkeys.
Yeah.
But macaques are indeed monkeys.
Do you want to elaborate for the audience what essentially the difference is between an ape and a monkey?
I'm not sure, but
It's very simple.
From a layman, what, monkeys have tails, right?
There you go. Yeah.
Is that it? That's
it.
literally it?
That's literally it. Yeah.
I just remember how in Escape from Planet of the Apes, how offended Cornelius and Zira got when they referred to their baby in utero as a monkey. It was considered basically like a slur.
It's a hate crime.
To call
Right.
a sentient chimpanzee a monkey.
It was like that guy in the back of the BAFTAs yelling out slurs. It was
Come on. Let's not go there. All right, tell me about punch the monkey. Hey.
Punch the monkey. Again, the more we sound, when you say punch the monkey or punch macaque, it just sounds like I'm asking for a service.
Punch the macaque?
An Amsterdam service. I'm here in the red light district, you know? So punch the monkey or punch kun, as he's called in old Japan. It was born on July 26, 2025. We know exactly when he was born. No, we have it down to the fuccking day.
The zoo, right? He's lived in a zoo all his life.
Yes, he's a baby Japanese macaque, or we properly, or more commonly, we call them snow monkeys. I guess we do.
Why a snow monkey? He's not white.
No, but they live in the sort of mountains. Like he's climatically not in the right place right now.
So his native region is the mountains of, I guess, the mountains of Japan.
Kind of, yeah. They live up in the snow and they're used to a different climate and all that stuff. So yeah, he gained viral attention on the last week or so, week and a half, I guess. It's kind of fresh. Maybe we should have done this last week instead of Cat's Eye. I don't know if it would have been any fresher, but people are still into it. Whatever. Anyway, he gained viral attention for
monkeys never get old. Come on, they're always.
It's going to be sad when Punch the Monkey is 30 years old and still in a zoo smoking cigarettes. It's going to look really weird. It's going to be bizarre. Anyway, he's attached to this large stuffed orangutan toy. That's one of the things that people know him for. Also for ostracism. Let's get into it. So according to zoo officials, Punch's internet popularity led to a surge in visitors to that zoo, Ichikawa City Zoo in Japan. I guess in the city of Ichikawa? Yes, Ichikawa. That makes sense. He was named after Monkey Punch, who was apparently a mangaka who authored Lupin III, a very famous continuing manga series. I didn't realize that, by the way. I just thought, hey, Punch is kind of thing. It's a wacky name you call it.
Well, had you heard of this manga series before?
Lupin III, yeah, it's very famous.
Really?
There's any number of adaptations. What's his name? Miyazaki did an adaptation, I think, in 1983 of Lupin.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Anyway, subsequently, Punch was abandoned by his mother. We can get into why. Essentially, the short story is that she lacked an interest in raising him. I suppose sometimes this does happen in animals, but this is heightened because everybody was watching it take place. It became sort of the through line of what was compelling about Punch's case. That he was spurned by his mother and then spurned by the other macaques in the closure. So the following day, Punch, as a small baby, a weanling, was artificially fed. He was drinking milk from a baby bottle, being taken care of by caretakers, hand raised. I suppose this is what you need to do in extreme cases with animals. I'm sure this happens in zoos everywhere. So Punch was integrated with other macaques at the zoo's Monkey Mountain. 60 monkeys or so in total, on January 19th. But he had a lack of a maternal figure, which I think affected his behavior. So Punch didn't really know how to socialize with other monkeys. And he had signs. I suppose at one point in my life, I also had signs of monkey anxiety and isolation. We probably all have.
Don't we all? We all?
So a keeper said that despite occasionally the rousting and fisticuffs by other macaques, which I think also made people really, that was the sort of pathos of it, is that you're watching this tiny little monkey get the shit beat out of him by older primates.
Now, wait a minute. Is there like a live stream of the Monkey Mountain, or is it just visitors would take videos and post them online?
Look, I mean, it's not it's not a stereotype to say that Japanese love to record everything, especially like that was the moment. It's like people were recording everything that happened. And so there's a million hours of YouTube video. A lot of it silent and a lot of it in Japanese of people watching him get his ass handed to him. His extended, those are bonobos have the extended asses. Macaque just has a regular monkey butt, so far as I know.
His tail adorned ass.
His tail adorned ass.
Handed to him. And it's easier to hand a monkey his ass because the tail acts as a handle you're doing the handing of ass.
The ass of the handing. So
the ass handing.
Punch is still termed as being mentally strong in spite of the visual evidence, which again made the case for his virality was this sort of assault and this abuse and this sort of spurned action he was taking. So Takashi Yasunaga, the head of Ishikawa Zoo and Botanical Gardens, called Punch-kun very outgoing in terms of it's like, although I don't know exactly how you could find that out. I don't have a lot of primate experience. I don't know what makes an outgoing monkey or gorilla. No, I don't. Oh, that's a very outgoing mandrill is what I would say. And it's like I don't know what that means, but it's like that's okay. So the other thing is the let's talk about the plushie level. The thing that made this kind of a global viral theme was the fact that he was hanging on to this IKEA. I can't believe it's called a jungle skog. DJU. Yeah, whatever. Jungle Skog.
IKEA has its own brand of stuffed animals, which I was not aware of. I didn't.
Right. It's like I thought. Would you give me a dish set, some towels, a fucking bed, or a wardrobe? It's
well, the macaque was Punch was alone, so they gave him Swedish meatballs
with lingonberry jam. Exactly.
Yes.
So he's been clutching onto this thing, and you see this very compelling image of him holding onto this. Almost like a Curious George looking big orangutan that's just flooping around. It's been well loved. He sort of works on it, drags it around the enclosure, and he's hanging on to it, for the cuddle power. And by the way, that plushie is sold out across the planet from IKEA. Yes. And it's from what I see, it's charging 300 minimum bids on eBay at the moment. If you were looking to get one. Yeah, people want. It's
wrong with people.
It's an artifact. What do you want?
I can't afford my health care, but I'm buying a fucking stuffed monkey stuffed orangutan from IKEA because a video of a monkey playing with it went viral.
You
priorities. Good.
You just sound ridiculous saying stuff like that.
I do.
So he's clutching.
Who would have
thought?
thought?
This is aiding into socialization. It's sort of like a weaning tool, and it's like he's treating the orangutan's plushie as if it's a surrogate mother, or at least that's what it looks like to primates like us and other primates who are watching TV. To the bonobos who are watching the internet, this is what they also sense. So so you had not heard of Punch the Monkey because
no, we were going to do another topic, which we'll do in the future.
Yeah. And
you text me, you're like, actually, how about we switch gears to this sad Japanese monkey? And I'm like, I don't know what that is, but I can guess, right?
Yeah.
Somewhere in Japan, there's a monkey that's sad.
That's sad. Yeah, you got it right. Got it in one. Yes.
So I Google sad Japanese monkey and
whammo.
I everything I wanted was right there. There were not a lot of vagueness about what you were talking about. All right. So I'm going to quote people of the ethical treatment of animals, specifically the group's Asia director, Jason Baker. Don't you think, I hate to prejudge, but don't you think the Asia director of PETA should have a name that sounds like he's from Asia? I don't know. Maybe Jason Baker is from Asia.
Asia's a big place. Asia could be anywhere from Kazakhstan to
let's
Seoul.
Not prejudge. I just, you want an organization like PETA whose Asian director to have a stereotypical Asian name. But
maybe it's Jason Baker Dudustan.
Baker-san. Yeah. Okay, so Jason Baker, Asia director of PETA, said, what some are calling cute is actually a glimpse into the trauma of a young, highly social primate coping with isolation and loss. Until facilities stop treating sentient beings as attractions, animals like Punch will continue to suffer in captivity. So this is the old critique of zoos. We talked about this last year when we talked about Mudang, the bouncy pork hippo that went viral. That zoos are inherently bad, or at best a necessary evil, right? After the decimation we have done to natural habitats, and to treat it like, oh, isn't the story great? Even though this animal is suffering. I guess it's supposed to be living in the snow, and it's on freaking Monkey Mountain. From all the footage I watched, there isn't much snow on Monkey Mountain.
Six Flags Monkey Mountain.
Six Flags Monkey. Oh man, I went there. Don't go on the free fall ride. Your tail will get ripped off. So yeah, this, going by what Asian director Jason Baker says, this feels like a perversion of nature. But what else is new? I mean, come on, that's an entire society. We abuse the shit out of animals. Just yesterday, I had chicken for lunch and fish for dinner. So,
but to be fair, what you did is you beat those things with a stick before you ate them.
I did. I keep chickens in my 1-bedroom apartment in, urban San Francisco.
You blast metallic
they live under my
acid
sink, and I beat them to death.
Then you beat them with a stick, yeah.
Right. The fish are in my bathtub. I just pull them out and let them flop around on the floor until they die. We also abuse animals, quote unquote, abuse them by anthropomorphizing them. Making this a story of, isn't Punch cute and Punch is sad and Punch needs love and we feel sorry for Punch because he's ostracized by the others, but he loves his little stuffy just like, a human boy or girl. And that's egomaniacal. It's seeing the world through the lens of human needs and human wants. And it's not just our planet, it's their planet too. But come on. In a world of climate collapse, this is small potatoes. There's also the critique of this is just some old-fashioned internet glurge, sappy, saccharine stories about perseverance and someone has been hurt and abused, but God darn it, they got the gumption to stand up and now we all cheer them. I'm going to quote a random blog that jumped out at me, Animal Wised. Punch's story isn't just cute. It's a powerful reminder of resilience, empathy, and how sometimes even the smallest animals can teach us the biggest lessons about connection. And then, of course, the Today Show talked about it in typical Today Show fashion. They'd say, oh my God, this story is everywhere. No one can stop talking about Punch the Monkey. And Punch's story is proof that love always wins.
Punch broke his silence, actually. That's how dramatic it was.
Punch broke his silence about the stuffed orangutan. So I could say that this is just garbage that poisons our culture. And of course, I could say it distracts us from real issues. This is at the expense of real people. The sympathy we show for Punch should be shown for human beings. I could be that guy, Bill. I could be saying, why do people care about a fucking monkey in Japan, but not children being abused by the global elites or children being abused by guards in ICE facilities? There's stories that people are going to the zoo and offering to donate money to Punch's care. Well, why are they donating money to this fucking monkey and not to the countless other primates suffering worldwide, let alone human beings? These are the same idiots who demanded justice for Harambe. But Bill, do I really want to be this guy? Do I really want to complain that mooning over a fucking monkey with a stuffed animal is distracting from real issues, is a measurable element of the human desecration of nature and our fellow creatures? I don't want to be that guy, Bill. It's 2026. The world is too stressful to be that guy. And damn it, this thing is fucking cute. I mean, it's monkeys, for God's sake. How do you not love monkeys? So, it's a monkey playing with a stuffed animal. Enjoy.
I haven't been this excited about a primate since that chimpanzee ripped that woman's face off in Connecticut.
Oh, that's so
15
mean.
years ago. What are you going to say?
Yeah. So mean.
It's funny. I both have the same tab open you were just talking about by total coincidence. And my notes generally are in accord with exactly what you said. The fact that the anthropomorphizing of animals, I'm sure I'm repeating myself from the Mudang notes that I jotted down in my document at that point. The sort of, I think it was T.S. Eliot called it the pathetic fallacy. When you invest feelings into something that, you're ascribing human characteristics on something that is inanimate, or at least you're animating it. In this case, he's not inanimate, but he's not a person. He's a primate. So yeah, the idea of ascribing human characteristics, it muddies up the story of what's actually happening. However, the thing is that as we're doing this on camera, people can't see that there's a cat walking back and forth across your table. And it's like I have had...
No, she's asleep to my right.
Okay,
right
well,
now,
she was
walking back and forth earlier.
And I've had cats, and the thing is, I'm a cat person, and the thing is, it's like, I know I've, engaged with the animals in these long relationships with these animals while you have them on Earth. It is, you're a welcome...
Pet ownership is self-serving and hypocritical. As much as I love being a cat guy, I will admit, by eating certain animals and spending thousands of dollars on other animals' love and care, I'm a hypocrite. Totally.
Yeah, and the thing is that I could go into the therapeutic benefit I got from having cats over the years, especially through my 20s into my 40s. It was a big deal. The thing is, it's like, yeah, they were there for me to animate. That was essentially what was happening, and I know quite well that my cat could not do the things and was not responsible for the personality I put on him. I did not give a fuck. I treated him like a son. He had a name. He had adventures. It was like he's an animated rapscallion of a cat, like he was, Heathcliff or something like that. That's what he really did. And that's all that mattered to me. I was like, what this cat, the reflection of what I ascribed onto him. I was projecting this stuff onto him. So yeah, Mudang, you brought it up perfectly too. It's like people want to believe that these animals are teddy bears, or house cats. They're kind of put in front of you for pathos entertainment. And it's fallacious, it's facetious, but it's also a little simplistic where people just tend to think, I think it's a baseline thing in America. I guess America is really no different than the rest of the world, where these animals are all here essentially because man has dominion over the animal kingdom, which I don't believe for a single second. But I think people still have a very traditional.
Practically we do, right?
It's like we have it under dominion by default, but it's like we assume that we own flesh. Much the same way, you brought up the idea of like, a billionaire class of people, an Epstein class of people. It is becoming plainly obvious, just to take a jag for 6 seconds, that when you get to have a certain amount of money, people think that you're master of flesh. That's a phrase I've been using for the last 2 months, is the word master of flesh. The idea being that all of a sudden it's like you own tissue. Lives are yours. And it's like, you don't even question it anymore. And I mean, this is not the Epstein class of people who are essentially, running people to islands and spiriting them out of Lithuania and Estonia so they could be sex workers on Little St. Jeff, or what the fuck island was called. But it's like, this is essentially, these animals are here because you own them and you want them to essentially run around with a little thing, be sad for me so I have a distraction. I mean, okay, it's fine. I don't think anybody watching Punch the Monkey affects him. It's whatever, the Heidegger's principle, where it's like the camera's on him and us talking about it doesn't affect him. He's doing his own thing. He's running the life of a primate, a macaque. At some point, maybe he will be put in. He can't live in the wild, but he could be put in a sensible enclosure, an actual habitat outside of a zoo, which there's definitely a big step up between a zoo and a sort of preserve, which is where he should be living. And maybe that's his future. Will we ever hear about it? I don't know. What the fuck is Mudang doing right now? Mudang's probably into cutting and punk rock and tattoos, right? He's at that age now that we just don't care anymore. He's like, what is it, Vito's kid who just wound up becoming a goth? That's what Mudang's up
to. How little we care. You just misgendered Mudang. I'm pretty sure Mudang is a girl.
A macaque named Punch and his plushy companion have drawn a legion of fans across the world after videos of the baby primate went viral on social media this month.
Why did Why did Punch the Monkey go viral?
Well, look, in our blighted age, you really can't do better. And the sensation, right, of a scared-looking little snow monkey being bullied. I mean, there's the footage of the bigger macaque, like, spinning Punch on the ground as he shrieks. Yeah. He shrieks that cartoon.
God help me, it's kind of
the sound is blood curdling. It's like that is I would say 30% of the footage is watching him with the shit beat at him and it's like, I know that these are monkeys make these same noises in the wild, but it's a shriek of terror and horror, and it's like you put that out there, all of a sudden then Punch goes to the soothing sucker of his IKEA doll, right? It's a drama. It's this high stakes drama you're watching. It's a helpless little thing, like a little speck of fur with a little face. It looks like E.T. mixed with Gollum, mixed with fucking Marcel from Friends. It's a whole bunch of stuff. It's a helpless little thing. We have the catharsis now as we watch him cling to the doll. I think many of us would want the oxytocin rush that he's getting from that little thing, the mother juice that he's squishing out of that thing, right? That's his soothing tool, is that oxytocin thing he's getting. We kind of want that. Aren't we just large primates being bullied ourselves?
Yes, we are.
We're being bullied by cruel macaques in governmental and corporate positions right now. And it's like we can see ourselves easily in this little speck of primate flesh that's running around in a Japanese zoo.
I found an article in Defector by Sabrina Imbler. and it is titled The Mournful Ballad of Punch the Monkey. And she writes, because of our close relation, macaques look and act uncannily like us, making comparisons to their culture not just inevitable, but logical. It is practically impossible to watch a video of Punch being shoved or sitting alone with his toy or see anything else but a lonely child being bullied. So the point is...
Yeah, whammo. That's it right there, man.
Yeah, this tugs all our heartstrings because we see ourselves in the monkey. It is very obvious. I did notice that macaques are among the most used animals in animal experimentation.
Oh, I did read that, yeah.
And I believe it was the same article that outlines some of the, you want to talk about monkeys being bullied, like some of the horrible experiments, mental experiments that have been done on macaques. I was reminded there's a now debunked study, I don't know, debunked, but said it was basically unethical, that I remember learning about in college and like intro to psychology, where they like took baby monkeys, and it turns out macaques, away from their mothers, and they raised one, they gave it like just milk. That's it. Like a wire frame that provided milk. The other one was a wire frame covered in terry cloth. So it was soft, but it had no milk. And apparently they were surprised to discover that the monkey was more attached to the soft one. So even though it didn't provide what the monkey materially needed, just the soft touch, the hug, what this IKEA doll provides to Punch.
You're killing me, Tarnow. You're killing me with the story.
For a baby monkey. Yeah, it's heartbreaking. It's fucking heartbreaking. More positively, why people are interested, because they're cute. They're monkeys. I was trying to find, I'm always fascinated with, about the uncanny valley, right?
Yeah. That's where he's from. That's where he's from originally, by the way.
Most people don't know the original uncanny valley was in Japan. That actually wouldn't surprise me. So I know we've talked about in the show, the uncanny valley is the idea that as something artificial gets closer and closer to looking like a healthy human, there's a point right before it looks like a healthy human where it becomes disturbing. And that's why zombies are disturbing. And that's why a robot that is close to human but not quite human is unsettling, uncanny. You can map it on a chart, right? And I was trying to find the relation, like how animals play into the uncanny valley, why we find animals endearing. Obviously the not the perigee, the valley, but the apogee of this curve. And I wasn't really finding a connection. But the idea that a monkey, which is like a human, but still has the cuteness of an animal, e.g. a cat, a dog. Cats and dogs are like humans compared to, squids and ants. But a monkey obviously is more close to a human. And if you're to map it onto the uncanny valley chart, it's closer, it's higher up. So why animals like primates are cuter in our eyes? They're like babies. They have the big eyes, they have the playful nature, all that. Why did this go viral? Because it's an easy pleasure in a difficult world, in a stressful time. A zoo animal, every couple of years, there's a new zoo animal that everyone goes crazy over and becomes a star. We had Harambe, we have Mudang, now we have Punch. Zoo animals are the celebrity we can all agree on.
His mother abandoned him, and he wasn't quite fitting in with the other macaques. But now the lonely monkey has become the star of the Ichikawa City Zoo.
Noah, would you have liked to squeeze and hug Punch the monkey if you were a kid again?
Yeah, sure. I had a monkey phase as a kid, right? I went through a period where I thought monkeys were the cutest things. I love What was your favorite animal when you were a little kid?
Cats, for sure. Cat person.
Nope. You were a cat person, really?
Oh, yeah, we had cats in the house. Yeah.
Because we had cats in the house, and I love cats, obviously, but like I had a turtle because I went through, I really got into turtles for a while. So my parents got me a turtle it was fun, but he was probably more trouble than he was worth. Also, like if I weren't a little kid, if I were older, I might have made some of these dumb memes, and that's what we haven't really addressed directly, but you can probably guess is there's a lot of Punch the Monkey memes online, putting him in Planet of the Apes, having him in the dog. I barely looked at any of them. Most of them were pretty boring. So I saw a news story, a guy just telling the Punch story with that little cutout of his head. And then, of course, saying, tell us what you think in the comments, which is just more clickbait. And then, of course, everyone ends the I can't stand the up-talking anymore, Bill. Everyone with the up-talking. Punch the Monkey has gone viral like nothing ever before. Going to the zoo officials say...
I bet you that's AI, but hey, that's just
You think,
me.
oh yeah, okay, fine. Yeah. Okay, it's AI, but a ton of dumb kids in their basement who are trying to become stars.
Are imitating AI, exactly.
Are imitating it, right?
Yeah.
So I could see myself having been that guy. Why not?
It's hard to deny the catchiness of this sorry little son of a bitch, this little prick, this little primate jackass. Especially look if you do love to cuddle some form of house pet. Again, the cat I was just watching on your screen earlier about 25 minutes ago, which I animated, like I said, into a little character in my life. I mean, I'm sure that there are some cruel jerks, Noah, who delight in Punch's pain, just as I used to hear people say that they like to kick cats. And I was like, are you being literal or are you being figurative? Is this just sort of like you being a curmudgeon, or like, are you honestly so poorly adjusted and antisocial you are looking for felines to kick with your shoe in a literal way? Because
the fact that people, look, I'm not a big dog guy, but I would never want to kick a dog.
No, absolutely not.
What is wrong with you?
No.
Hurting animals for no reason? I mean, come on.
Like, I think that perhaps that there are, more of those type of people who delight in the pain of animals. But I really think in the main, kid or adult, it's like you kind of want to save, you want to push for the little poop thrower. You want to save the little guy. You know what I'm saying?
Is the rise of Punch the Monkey, is the fame of Punch the Monkey, is the monkeyness of Punch, is the punchness of the monkey in any way a sign of the apocalypse?
Well, it's funny. I have the idea. You said that we're on a timetable with getting an animal craze, and I have that in my notes here too. It's like this is a transient craze, but it is also on a clockwork. Wu-Dang, and then Harambe was a horror because that he was shotgunned to death in the enclosure. I think people actually watched.
Yeah, but come on. Here's the thing about Harambe. First of all, wasn't Harambe famous before that, or am I wrong?
I don't remember. Maybe you're right. I don't recall. I just know the death thing. It was a gruesome murder. Because they had to.
It wasn't gruesome. It was necessary. Dumb parents let their stupid fucking kid jump into a gorilla cage. Harambe's not a rational human being. He was a goddamn gorilla. I'm sorry, but as dumb as this kid is, you have to value the kid's life more than the gorilla's life because this is civilization. It sucks that Harambe had to be killed, but, it's not like the people are protesting the zoo. Give me a break.
Well, okay.
Bad things happen. Blame the dumbass parents and the stupid fucking kid.
The trend of this guy is right on schedule, but let's go back and proffer the idea that zoos and aquaria are old remnants of a prior world we used to live in, Noah. And I can't help but think this. I haven't gone to a zoo in years. I haven't gone to an aquarium in years. It just, to me, it looks like this is a place where kings and pashas and sultans would collect lions and giraffes and gorillas for their courts to signify that they were, in my terms, the master of flesh. And I think that, look, there's very little knock-on value anymore from collections of life forms being husbanded thousands of miles away from their ideal biomes. We could tell ourselves that somehow some kid is going to go to the Bronx Zoo. He's going to go to the bat enclosure and he's going to become a Chiropteran scientist. Maybe that's true. More than likely, just a lot of idiots are going to go to the snake house. They're going to go to the fucking monkey, whatever. They're going to watch the rhinoceros root around in mud. And it's just entertainment. It's not going to wake up the next generation of paleontologists or herpetologists or whatever. That's just not going to happen. So it's like, let's treat animals the way they're supposed to be. Let's leave them in the fucking snowy mountains where they're supposed to be, not put them in the middle of a hot Japanese city climatically, which is completely wrong. But one of the things I kept hearing this was from the mouth of the zookeeper himself, or I guess they don't call them zookeepers, they call them what's the word, the handlers,
zoo stylists,
caretakers, zoo stylists. Is they said that when the mother gave birth in July, that it was several orders of magnitude hotter than the habitat.
Yes.
So.
And they think that's why the mother abandoned.
You're right. And it's like, that is a fucked up thing. And it's like, if we can already call that as it is, it's like, maybe we should try to steer around asking these animals. It's like, oh, we have a fucking killer whale. The only problem is we just have a fucking aquarium gravel to put them in and no water. It's like, can we just be optimal about where we keep these animals, for Christ's sake?
Yeah, I think it's, why is this the apocalypse? Someday we will all think like PETA and think this was terrible, that we were laughing at the pain of a sentient creature. a creature who is not that far removed from us, shares the majority of our DNA or something like that. Or we're on a slippery slope to complete barbarism. And, 50 years from now, the sweet viral story of like, oh, this human child kept in a concentration camp was shunned by his peers, and we gave him a stuffed animal, and now he's happy in his concentration camp.
It's really charming to see him.
Yeah, I know. It's charming to see this little, there were I hate to say it, dude, in the United States of America, there were probably stories 200 years ago, they didn't go too viral, of look at that cute little slave, digging for scraps in its pathetic life. And isn't that cute and charming? Dehumanizing human beings. You don't
have to go back that far. Believe me, it's probably within decades, not even centuries, but yeah.
Yeah, but trying to treat it as an uplifting story while, denying their humanity. I mean, I don't think that we should be treating monkeys on the level of human beings. And I don't think the slavers are lying to themselves when they said these aren't human beings, because half the time they were having sex with them anyway. But I don't know if we're going to be negative. This is the start of us treating, it's okay because we're showing sympathy to them, while, as Jason Baker would say, denying them their God-given rights as sentient creatures. You could put that lens on it. I'm probably not going to.
Hear me out. I understand, and it's adorable, and he's breaking my heart. But that being said, who are we to question the wisdom of the tribe?
Noah, I want to finish this podcast. We're going to talk about our last two bracketed segments, jealousy and our ranking scale. So tell me, what envy feelings do you have about this? For some reason, the media landscape loves this monkey more than you this week, and I'm sorry to say that.
Yeah, that's, what? I accept that. I accept that as my lot in life.
It's tough.
No, I'm not really jealous. I think working at a zoo must suck.
Yeah, I think you're right. But I think it's a calling too. I think, my ex.
I see how being a vet is a calling.
My ex
working at a zoo
was an intern over the summer of, I think it was 91 or 92. She was she came from Detroit, and she went to the Bronx Zoo, and she worked in the gorilla cage. And it's like she knew she wanted to work with animals. That ultimately was not her career, but it was for her, it was huge, and she was something very much she wanted to do. It wasn't easy, but it was like a calling. It was like an avocation, something she needed to answer.
She worked in the gorilla cage.
Yeah, she was an intern, a zoological intern in the gorilla cage.
Gorilla intern.
Gorilla intern.
So what would she do? Like clean the gorilla cage?
No, I don't think she got that.
Shoot Harambe?
I don't think she got that. But she took notes for she was like an intern. She ran out copies for the gorillas, sent them faxes. Right,
she got the gorilla's cappuccino.
She got the cappuccino. Right, that's what she got a nice letter recommendation at the end of the summer from the gorilla.
From a gorilla. Yeah, working at Zuma suck. However, despite the sad experience of Punch the Monkey, I think being a monkey is probably really fun. And I think if you could pick what animal you want to be reborn as, I'd pick being a monkey, because monkeys lack, I don't know, maybe being a monkey is stressful, but they get to run around and jump around, but they have enough sentience to probably take joy in family.
A long life too. They're long lived in a lot of cases.
I bet in the lot, what animal you would want to be, probably monkey is, your odds are better of having a happy life than being a human being. Mm-hmm. I'm going to say.
I am jealous. I am jealous of him. I am jealous of Punch because
jealous of Punch.
The oxytocin blast that he's getting from squishing. An oxytocin, by the way, I needed to explain this, is the cuddle hormone. It's essentially the thing that mothers are suffused with when they have a baby, and fathers to some degree are supposed to be. You don't generate as much of it as women do, but it's like it helps people bond to their babies, and it's a natural thing. Some people, I think, have a deficit of it in their lives, and it's just a thing. They don't necessarily understand what the feeling of oxytocin is. But if you've ever felt in your life like you got some succor out of squishing something, a stuffed animal, a person, it's like a hugging hormone. Believe me, you're an animal, and your body's built to do these things to some degree. So that's like it looks like this is all Punch is essentially he's got one friend in there. Although I have heard that apparently his worm might have turned to socializing a little easier with the other macaques. But the compelling image was of him holding on for dear life to this thing as if it was his only friend. And it's like, man, give me that in my life. I would take a stuffed squishy that I could just hold on to and just pound at it and just squish it and squish it and squish it and get those.
You can buy one, Bill.
Yeah, but I want his. I want whatever the magic powers that his has. That's what I'm looking for here.
Bill, where on the Fallonian scale do you put Punch, the phenomenon of Punch the monkey, the monkey punch?
The monkey punch. Yeah, that's a drink that we used to serve in college, monkey punch. I got to hand it to Punch for having this sort of big-eye primate look, which you referenced earlier. It's super easy to ascribe all his human grief on. He is a common. It looks like he's something created in the Jim Henson Creature Lab, or maybe something like who's that little monster they created in Star Wars?
Frankenstein?
No, Star Wars: Rise of Skywalker. There's a little repairman monkey goblin.
Baby Yoda?
No, well, Baby Yoda's a good example. Let's go with that. It's like, again, he's optimized for clicks. So it's like that. Everything about it is maximized for maximum pathos. So it's like you got the perfect combination of cruelty inflicted upon this, which is a compelling a force from without. It's coupled with the sad face designed to make people love him, Noah. And so I think I would compliment to another animal, another odd primate who acts as if he doesn't understand the way of his fellow primates. And that would be former topic Nathan Fielder.
Okay. You're like another primate. I'm like, have we looked at a monkey or an ape before?
Yes. We did.
I guess technically we've
talked about a number of primates along the way.
Talked about a number of primates, yes. I copped out, dude. I just said Mudang times E, the mathematical constant E, divided by 2. Yeah. So, you figure that one.
As he gets older, he'll grow into a higher divisor. That will happen. I
got to tell you, I think Mudang was cuter.
Yeah?
I think the little round hippo with the big face that looked like he was smiling.
Right.
But I'd rather be Punch than Mudang. I'd rather be a monkey than a hippo.
Mudang was always moist. He was always lubricious. There was she was moist. There was like a watery component to it. That's the thing. Yes. Hippos have that feature where they're always wet, which is sort of. Well,
they live in the water, basically.
Yeah, right? Yeah. And they're covered in straw or grass from the enclosure too, so it's always like a big mess to get. Yeah. Well, okay. I think that
does it.
That's all. We are closing the book on this one, and so if you want to find past episodes, look on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Soundcloud, GooglePlay. Skeet to us at noahandbillshow.bsky.social. Write to us, noahandbilldon'tgetit@gmail.com. Give us a review on the aggregators because it foments heat. We could really become a thing. This could catch on someday. I'm on social at billscurry.bsky.social, at William Scurry on Twitter. I'm on Instagram. I'm all the things. YouTube.com/AMCaesar, where you'll find the ranking of this podcast, in addition to other video projects I have going. And Noah's going to tell you where you can find them in a couple of days. It's all coming together on Monday here. I think we're all eyes are pointed on the slipper room.
I know, all eyes. I'm going to New York because I'm hosting the rare public event for my company, the Big Quiz Thing, the best trivia event worldwide, nationwide. Rare public event at the Slipper Room where it all started this Monday. By the time you listen to this, hopefully it hasn't happened yet. This Monday, March 2nd, 7 p.m. Still some tickets available. BigQuizThing.com. Get your tickets now. And then, of course, what do we normally do? The finest in corporate and private events worldwide, nationwide. We're busy times, which is nice. Striking while the economy is still stable, my friend. So learn about how you can get the finest in corporate and private trivia, entertainment, team building, client appreciation, fundraisers, birthday parties, bar bat mitzvahs. I'm working on a bat mitzvah today. The event isn't today. The day's in March. But before I go, I gotta finish up the content for this one. I was about to say something about it, but I don't want to talk about this poor 13-year-old girl on a podcast that she doesn't know exists.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's fun. She's going to have fun. Hopefully her friends will have fun. And we're experts at that fun. So learn how you could get it for your own kids' special adulthood ceremony at bigquizthing.com. And I personally, from time to time, can be found on Instagram at the Noah Tarnow.
All right, everybody. So until the next episode, where the internet learns about perseverance from the plight of a spurned tardigrade.
We don't get it.
A production of American Caesar Enterprises 2026.